Hello beautiful people, hello beautiful world, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashlee Renise, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how I leveled up in 2021 and my plans for 2022. I'm going to be sharing it with you, so let's go. So the reason I put leveled up in your quotations is just, I don't know, it's giving oh, you weren't doing enough before type of thing. And I've been moving away from that mindset because it has been detrimental to my health. So when I say leveled up, I don't mean that what you were doing was insufficient before or anything like that, but it just means, you know, the ways that I grew in 2021, the ways that I challenged myself in 2021, and what my plans are for 2022. And the hope that I have in sharing these plans is that it will inspire you, it will, you know, maybe remind you of something, give you an idea of some ways that you can also improve your way of living for the new year. I also have my old vision board here. So this was the vision board I did for 2021, and I look at it now. I still love it, by the way, but there's some things I'm like, I don't know. But either way, I just have it here for motivation, to remind you to do your vision board for 2022. All right, so let's get into it. So the very first way that I sort of challenged myself in 2021, I leveled up in 2021, is I forced myself to grow. What I recognized when I was looking back on my year was that I intentionally placed myself in uncomfortable situations so that I would be forced, like I couldn't do anything else but to grow and to adapt so that I can get with the program for whatever that situation is. And when I say uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that it was a harmful situation. It doesn't mean it was a toxic situation. Uncomfortable means just that. It wasn't my first choice in terms of what I would want to do. If I could choose, or if I could do what I want to do every day, it would just be to relax on a beach. Okay, but that's not how life is as of right now. I'm not saying it can never be that, but that ain't what it is right now. So in 2021, I sort of did things that I knew would make me uncomfortable, because when I read of successful persons, and when I say successful, I mean persons who are just genuinely happy with the life they're living, they feel fulfilled, they're doing what they want. When I read of them, it's persons who constantly challenge themselves. They constantly put themselves in situations that they know will make them uncomfortable, but they know that at the end, they're gonna be a better person. They're gonna become a better person. They're gonna grow. They're gonna, you know, be that person that they're proud of. So that was one thing that I did a lot through 2021. Even with the videos that I published some videos that were a little bit like, I don't know, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but I did it because at the end of the day, it helped to challenge that fear that I feel, that fear of failure, because I struggle with that a lot. I'm growing, I'm learning, but I still, you know, I know that that's something I struggle with. It helps me to deal with fear of rejection, which is also something that I struggle with, because of course, if you're putting something out that is uncomfortable to you, you might be like, oh my gosh, I don't know if everybody's gonna rock with this, right? So it helped me to deal with those things, and in the end, become a better person, where now I don't allow feelings like comfort and discomfort to rule my life. I allow, what's gonna be the end product? Am I gonna be proud of who I am on the other side of this? I allow things like those to rule me instead of feelings of discomfort and comfort. So that was number one. The second way that I leveled up / grew, challenged myself to grow in 2021, was I exposed myself to new information. I read a lot. I've always loved to read, but I don't know, I sort of fell off. When you're in university and you have to read so much just to get your degree, it kind of makes you not like to read, and that's what happened to me, if I'm being 100% transparent. Okay, so but I realized that I love to read, right? So in 2021, I kind of got back into that. When you expose yourself to new information, when you expose yourself to information that you didn't know before that could possibly change your actions, possibly change the way you think, the way you reason, it literally forces you to grow, because once you know that new info, you can't go back to what you were doing. It's actually harder to go back to what you were doing as though you didn't know when you actually know the difference. So I kind of forced myself. I read a lot of things that were outside of, let's say, my, purview. They were outside of what I would regularly read. I read from authors who didn't believe the same things as I do. I read from authors who I would, on the surface, completely disagree with, because I wanted to see their perspective. And especially if it's like scientific information, I want to know, because I'm like, what, So in 2021, that's something that I did a lot of. I did a lot of reading, learned new information, and then, of course, double checked it with my values, my principles, what I truly stand for, my morals, and then acted accordingly. So the third thing that I did in 2021 to challenge myself was I put myself out there. Now, I am what some would call extrovert. Actually, not what some would call. Literally, my personality test says I am an extrovert. So I don't know why I said what some would call, but I am an extrovert, right? So I love to meet new people. I converse very effortlessly. It's not something that I really struggle with, right? But weirdly enough, actually forming connections with new persons, I don't know about that one. And in 2021, I was determined. I don't know if y'all can see, but right here on my vision board, this is like two women hugging, looking out into the sky. And it says equally yoked, business-minded, spiritual, financially, dreams, vision, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to meet some new people who are, they sort of think the same way that I do. Not that I don't have friends that think like that right now, because shout out to you, all my friends, my friend group, you know yourself. But I was like, I'm going to put myself out there. What's the harm? And funny enough, at the beginning of the year, I found myself a part of this group. It's sort of died down now. I don't know what's going on with it, but I still really love everyone that's a part of it. And we would talk and motivate each other every morning. And I'm not gonna lie, it was weird at first, because I'm like, I don't know you from Adams. Like, I do not know you guys. Are you guys who you say you are? Or are y'all just sussing out the, But I put myself out there, and I must say, I have formed at least 5, maybe even 6 proper connections from that, where whatever they do now, I will support them 110%. I will always be rooting for them, and I don't know if it's reciprocated, because I don't want to talk for nobody, but it makes me feel good that, hey, I have a new person that I can root for. I have a new person that I can give my positive energy to, that is readily accepting it, who is thinking the same way that I am. So that was another thing that I did. I put myself out there. I met new people. I attended certain things that, again, was a little scared, because I'm like, but I did it, and I'm alive. I didn't die. And now I have some new people within my circle. Of course, it's the outer circle, but it's still within the circle. You know what I mean? That I appreciate and I love hearing from. So yeah, that's another thing that I did. So another thing that I did in 2021 to kind of force me to grow was I tried a lot of new things. I went camping, as you guys saw. If you didn't, just click the video. Okay, I'm gonna put it up here somewhere. Click it, go watch it. It was so much fun. I traveled. Going to Jamaica isn't new, but seeing my family for such a long time. It really made me feel good. I felt like a new experience again. I went to Montreal, which is probably one of the highlights of my year because it was just so nice. Just being immersed in European Canadian culture, and the buildings were beautiful, the architecture, like stuff like that. So I did a lot of new things and it made me feel good. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of showed me that you can do anything. And I'm taking that and carrying it into the new year, for sure. And then the last thing that I want to talk about that I did in 2021 to help me grow was I learned to be alone, and I also learned the sound of my own internal voice. In today's day and age, we hear so many outside voices, so many ideas that are not our own, so many voices in our heads that they don't even sound like us. And I mean, literally, the tone doesn't sound like us. The verbiage, just the vernacular, the way that the words are forming, it doesn't sound like how we speak, right? And that's because we take in a lot. So in this year, I really it was unintentional, but it happened, and I learned to be alone. I learned to understand my own voice and know my own voice. That way, when another voice is in my head, sort of like saying something, I'm like, that ain't me. Show fly, baby, that ain't me. So that was something that I really loved, and so all these things that I'm listing, I'm gonna hold on to them, of course, for 2020. I'm not gonna learn and grow and then just be like, psh. So I do want to take these into the new year. And with that being said, let's get into my plans. What are the plans that I have for the new year? How do I plan to continue this growth journey? I want to share it with you in hopes that it gives you some ideas on how to continue your growth journey. So the very first plan that I have on my little list here is to focus more on self-care. And of course, I mean the massages, the spa days, things like that. Oh my gosh, by the way, I went to a spa in Montreal. I cannot wait till you guys see that vlog. Oh, that kind of sucks. You guys won't be able to see the spa because we couldn't have our phones, but it was so good. It was a thermal spa. Oh, it was amazing. But anywho, yeah, for 2022, of course, I'm talking about that kind of self-care, but I'm also talking about something a little bit deeper. I want to focus more on taking what some would term mental health days, where it's days that you allow yourself to just exist and to do what feels good. In my camping vlog, I spoke about that whole simply existing idea and how I hadn't simply been existing for a while, and how much we need those days where we're just existing. We're not trying to strive for anything. We're just existing and having the human experience for that day. And I kind of want to schedule in those just existing days more. I want to start scheduling in, I even actually have it scheduled in my phone right now for January. I think the first one, it's going to be a Saturday. I'm just not going to go to church that day and just stay home and really just be. But yeah, I want to have those days more as a way to sort of check in with myself so that I stay centered, I stay focused, but like a healthy focus. You know what I mean? Yeah. My next plan that I have for 2022 is I want to fall deeper in love with my body. I listened to a meditation. I believe the name of the channel is Rhea Earth. I'll link the channel below. It is beautiful, those meditations, like just beautiful. And there was one, I was just scrolling on TikTok. Okay, just imagine it for a minute. I'm in my bed scrolling on TikTok, kiki, oh, this is so funny. Swerve out to work. You want to bamba, you want to chill with a big, chilling. Then I see this and I'm like, the meditation is like, breathe. And I'm like, yeah, let me stop and breathe. And then they're like, what if, da 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 da. And then she said this one line, wrecked me. The line said, what if you loved your body as deeply as it loves you? And when I tell you, I started bawling because I'm like, yeah, I work out, I show my body love, or it looks like I'm showing my body love. But do I really love my body as deeply as it loves me? Like, you have to understand, your body cannot do anything without your essence, without your soul. So your body is fully in love with the being that it hosts, right? But I started to think, and I'm like, I don't love my body as deeply as it loves me, meaning I don't have the feeling like, oh, I can't survive without you, body, I love you so much. While the body has the feeling of, oh, Ashlee, your essence, your soul, I cannot survive without you. I'm nothing without you. I love you so much. And I was like, you know what? I want to fall deeply in love with my body. I want to love my body as much as it loves me. So I want to be, I'm gonna, of course, continue working out, drinking my water, things like that, but I want to do it from a place of pure love. A place of pure, I just love you, body. I appreciate you. And I want to do the things to show you that I appreciate you so that I can appreciate you longer. So that's one of my huge goals, I guess, / plans for the new year, is to fall in love with my body, to do activities that show my body that I love it. And just to take the time to show appreciation for my body every single day. Because when we think about our feet, they walk, they take us everywhere, they never fail us. When we think about our ears, if you can hear, they pick up all the sounds. You think about your tongue, it allows you to taste amazing foods. And it's like, how often do we actually take the time to stop and appreciate our body? And I want to do that more, because I feel like if I'm able to do that, then it would be a lot easier for me to take care of my body by feeding it with things that I know is good for it, or drinking my water, or just moving on a day-to-day basis. So that's definitely a huge mindset shift that I'm taking on for 2022 in order to fulfill this plan. Another huge goal / plan / I don't know that I have for 2022 is to have daily dates with God. Now, every morning I wake up, do my devotion. I'm not gonna lie, some mornings it don't be happening because I wake up too late. It's the Christmas time, so everything is kind of blurry. But I want to start having like a set time where I spend time with God and I dwell in the scriptures, dwell in prayer, meditation, stuff like that. Of course, it is natural for me to do that, but I want to have a set time. And it's funny because this actually goes into my next plan, which is I want to establish my routines. I want them to be set in stone. And I know you're probably like, but nothing is set in stone in this world. So much can happen. I understand. But I find that when I operate based on routines and habits, I feel much better. So I want to have a set morning routine and a set evening routine that I follow every day, no matter what the day is. Even if it's a day that I'm taking it easy, I can do that routine, modify it to fit that day, So that's also something that I want to work on. So that, having set dates with God and my routine, that kind of goes hand in hand, because I just want to establish my routine. I want to establish my habits so that I can establish my life in a way that makes me feel good and happy and proud. And when it comes down to the routine, you have to design the routine to work for you. I've watched tons of videos on morning routine, night routine. Listen, stop for a second. And I know I'm talking about what I'm gonna do, and I didn't want it to be an advice video. I just wanted to share what I'm doing. But I want you to understand that you should only do routines that work for you. So if you have 4 kids and you have to wake up and get them ready, and you realize, I don't want to wake up that early, so I won't be able to work out in the morning. Design it in a way where you can get your workout in, but it fits your lifestyle. Okay, so I just wanted to share that because I fell into the trap once. Oh, I'm gonna wake up at 5:30. I'm gonna do XYZ. And I was like, I don't want to though. I do not like waking up at 5:30. If I wake up at 6:30, 7, I still get everything I need to get done. So why am I doing that? Just to say I did it because so and so did it? I think not. All right, guys, so we've come to the end. Yes, we've made it. And if you're watching this, guess what? You made it. You made it through 2021. You're gonna make it in 2022. Okay, I really do hope that you get it through your brain that you made it. It doesn't matter what the year looked like. All of that is not important right now. The important thing is you are alive, and that in and of itself is something to be grateful for. And I hope that you are grateful and that you are proud of yourself. Even if you just survived, it's okay. You're here. All right. So thank you so much for being a part of this family, this channel, and I thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas of, ways that you want to grow and level up. And by the way, let me know in the comments below, what is one way that you plan to make a change for this year for the better? And if that one way is just to have more of those just existing days, then I want to hear it too. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. I love you guys. Bye.